Chosen one. Listen carefully. Heaven itself has pressed pause, and the angels lean over the balcony of eternity to gaze upon you. They watch, astonished, as you move through the moments of your life. They are not shocked because you are weak. They are shocked because, against all odds, you have not given up. They whisper in awe, "How is it possible that this one, carrying so much weight, still chooses light over darkness from the beginning?" You were not hidden from heaven's eyes. You were marked, set apart, written into a story greater than your pain. Every choice you make matters, and the angels have seen choices that could have broken you, yet you kept rising. They watch you resist temptation, refuse to surrender your crown, and step forward even when your legs tremble. The heavens marvel, because even though you are human, fragile in body, you carry a spirit clothed with fire. Chosen one. Don't underestimate what your decision means in the unseen realm. Darkness believed it had already won the battle over you. The enemy was convinced you would be crushed by disappointment, silenced by rejection, and trapped in cycles of shame. But then, you chose differently. You turned your eyes back toward the light, and heaven erupted in astonishment. The enemy's plans shattered in that single moment of your obedience. There is power in one act of surrender. You think it was small, but in eternity, it thundered like an earthquake. Angels stood still, watching in reverence as you whispered, "Yes, Lord." Do you know what that did? It silenced hell itself. Every demonic voice that mocked your future was struck mute, all because you, God's chosen one, said, "I will not bow to darkness." The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." The very angels assigned to protect you rejoice when you choose God over compromise, destiny over distraction, truth over lies. They are not distant spectators. They are warriors positioned by your side, shocked not at your weakness, but at your resilience. This moment is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. You were brought here now because heaven needs you to know that your life shakes realms. Every angel who watches your journey testifies, "This one carries a crown, and chosen one." You must not let go of it. Your decision to stand has already set things in motion that you cannot yet see. Generations after you will walk freer because of your yes. And so pause now and recognize the weight of this moment. If you sense these words burn in your spirit, it is because the Spirit Himself is confirming you are chosen. Heaven sees you. Angels watch in awe. Your decision has already shocked them with its strength, and they are waiting to see how much further you will go. Beloved, do not let this message pass without response. If your spirit agrees, if you know you are chosen, then act. Like this word, share it so another warrior might rise, and subscribe so you will not miss the next divine reminder sent to you. And now, as a prophetic act, comment this number below, 777. This is your sign of completion, covenant, and heaven's alignment over your journey. Chosen one. Before the world even knew your name, heaven did. You were never a coincidence. Never an accident. Never a spare piece in the great puzzle of creation. From the first breath you drew, angels recognized you as one marked with a seal invisible to human eyes. Even in your infancy, when you could not speak or choose, your very existence was a prophecy whispered across eternity. This one is chosen. There were moments in your life when you questioned your worth. You looked at others and saw their confidence, their success, their seeming perfection. And you wondered why your journey seemed so heavy. But what you didn't see was heaven's record of your life. You didn't know the angels had been watching from the start. Astonished that even as a child, you bore battles that would have crushed another. You carried pain in silence. Yet your spirit carried light that darkness could not explain. Chosen one. Hear this. You were never ordinary. The call on your life is not borrowed, and it is not second-hand. You have been set apart since the beginning, crafted with a purpose that will not fade, no matter how many detours or mistakes you think you've made. Every scar, every tear, every lonely night has become evidence of your selection. You are marked, and no power in hell can erase that mark. The angels have seen you wrestle with identity. They've watched as the world tried to convince you that you are common, unremarkable, replaçable. But each time you doubted, a deeper truth pulsed within you. You were always different. That difference is not a burden, but a crown. Heaven knew it. And that's why the angels leaned in closer to observe. They saw a soul that would be tested more than others, but also one that would carry more fire than others. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, what no human mind has conceived the things God has prepared for those. Chosen one. You have not yet glimpsed the full extent of what heaven has written over you. That's why your journey feels heavier than most. You are carrying promises too great to be measured by human expectation. The angels marvel not only at your choices, but at the weight of your calling. They know what awaits you, even when you cannot yet see it. Do you remember the times you almost gave in? The nights you thought no one noticed your cries? The angels noticed. They carried those moments before the throne, and heaven declared again, "This one belongs to me." The mark on you is not fragile. It will not fade because of fear, failure, or fatigue. It is eternal, sealed by the one who chose you before the foundation of the world. Chosen one. Your very existence is proof of heaven's intentionality. Every step you take, even the missteps, are woven into a divine tapestry that angels marvel at. They are shocked not only by what you survive, but by who you are becoming. You were marked for this very moment in history, and nothing, no rejection, no delay, no darkness can erase what God has stamped upon you. Chosen one. Every hidden battle you fought in silence has been witnessed. Every tear that slipped down your face when no one was around was not wasted, it was counted. You think no one knew the depth of your pain, but heaven recorded every moment, and the angels leaned closer in awe. They are not shocked that you suffered. They are shocked that in the furnace of suffering, you still chose faith. You have carried burdens others never saw, sleepless nights, silent cries, questions that seemed to echo in the dark. There were moments when you felt invisible, forgotten, and discarded. But, chosen one, your silence was never empty. Your pain became a testimony. You did not realize it, But in those nights of wrestling, you were becoming dangerous to the kingdom of darkness, because the very thing that was meant to destroy you was shaping the strength inside of you. The angels were astonished as you walked through fire that could have consumed anyone else. They saw you betrayed, abandoned, misunderstood, and yet you refused to let bitterness take root. They watched as you stood again, though trembling, though wounded, though weary. Every time you rose, it was as if heaven itself gasped at your resilience. They could not comprehend how a fragile human heart could carry such weight and still shine with light. They saw storms that should have drowned you, valleys that should have buried you. Yet each time you rose, you carried even more fire. Heaven realized that within your weakness, divine strength was being perfected before their very eyes. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 16, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes." This is why the angels watch you with wonder. They expected you to rise once, maybe twice, but to rise again and again. Against all odds, this is what shocks heaven's host. Chosen one, what you have endured is proof of who you are. Your scars are not shameful. They are sacred marks that testify of your strength. The battles fought in silence have become songs in eternity's record. Even if no one on earth applauds you, know this: the heavens do. And now, pause it. This is not just another word passing through your screen. It is a divine reminder, a heavenly echo, a confirmation that you are not forgotten. The struggles you thought were wasted have become evidence of your divine selection. Angels, marvel not because you are flawless, but because you keep choosing the light when darkness offers an easier path. Beloved, I want you to do something as a prophetic act. Right now, comment these words: "I rise again." Write it below, not as empty letters, but as your declaration. When you type those 3 words, you are declaring to heaven, to hell, and to yourself that you will not remain down. You are telling your own soul, "I am marked. I am chosen. I will stand." This act is not small. It is alignment with the truth already written over you. Chosen one, don't let shame silence you anymore. Don't let past failure dictate your tomorrow. You have risen before, and you will rise again. Each time you stand, the angels lean closer, shocked, amazed, rejoicing. And the more you rise, the clearer it becomes. You were always chosen to endure, chosen to overcome, chosen to shine, chosen one. There comes a point in every journey where the path splits. A crossroad stands before you, and both heaven and hell lean in to watch what you will do. It is in that sacred moment that your true allegiance is revealed. Many shrink back, swayed by fear or seduced by temporary comfort. But your choice was different. You stood at the edge of compromise and did not bow. The angels gasped, because they know how fierce the pull of darkness can be. They know the power of temptation, how it whispers with sweet promises and disguises its chains as freedom. They had seen many souls crumble under its weight. Yet when the shadows pressed hard against you, you did not surrender. You stood trembling, perhaps, but you stood nonetheless. This is what heaven witnessed, a fragile frame housing unshakable resolve. When you chose not to bend to the lies, you tore apart invisible contracts written against you. When you refused to bow, curses that had lingered in your family line were shattered. Your decision was not merely about you, it was about generations. The angels marveled because, with one act of obedience, you turned the course of bloodlines. You may have thought it was just a single moment, choosing integrity over compromise, choosing truth over deception, choosing God over fleeting pleasure. But in eternity, that one act roared louder than thunder. Every principality of darkness that thought it had ownership of you was forced to retreat. The angels, with wide eyes, recorded your decision, because it was evidence of heaven's authority breaking forth on earth through your life. What looked like a quiet, hidden choice on earth echoed like a trumpet blast in eternity. Heaven's archives marked the moment in fire, and angels carried it as testimony before the throne. Your courage became a decree, written in light, that darkness would never own your destiny. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 25, verse 10, "All the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful toward those who keep the demands of his covenant." Chosen one, the reason your stand was so powerful is that it revealed covenant. Anyone can follow God when the cost is low. But when you refuse to betray your calling, even at personal loss, you demonstrated that you belong to the covenant-keeping God. And in that moment, the heavens knew, this one cannot be bought, cannot be bribed, cannot be broken. The crossroads moment is where identities are sealed. Angels saw you tested in the fire and refusing to bow. And they whispered, "This one is truly chosen." Hell saw you and realized you were untouchable, not because of your own strength, but because of the one you chose to cling to. Even now, the weight of that decision continues to ripple through your life. Some doors closed because of it, and some people walked away. You may have wondered if you lost too much, but heaven knows better. In choosing the narrow road, you gained the treasure of eternity, a reward no earthly success can compare to. Chosen one, never forget this truth. Your choice at the crossroads shocked the angels, silenced the enemy, and sealed your identity. You are not common. You are not replaceable. You are one who stood when others bowed. Heaven saw, and heaven will never forget. Chosen one, the angels are not easily astonished. They have seen kingdoms rise and fall, nations crumble, and the unfolding of God's plan across ages. Yet when they looked upon you, standing firm in your fragile humanity, they whispered in awe. Your courage made heaven pause. Your yes in the face of fear caused eternal beings to marvel. You need to understand how rare this is. Many walk away when the weight becomes too heavy. Many surrender when temptation presses in. But you chose differently. You chose to endure, to cling to the unseen rather than surrender to the visible. The angels witnessed it, and their astonishment was not in your perfection, but in your persistence. Every time you rose after falling, every time you refused to give up, it was like fire bursting forth in the heavens. This is why your story matters more than you think. You underestimate the impact of your resilience, but heaven does not. When angels record the chronicles of your life, they do not focus on your failures. They highlight your returns. They magnify your choices of faith, your stubborn hope, your unwillingness to bow to them. It is a wonder that one so human could shine with such divine determination. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31. Verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Chosen one. The angels marvel because they see the one who walks beside you. They see strength poured into you when you had nothing left. They see courage fill you when fear wanted to consume you. They know you are not standing by your own power, but by the presence of the Lord, who refuses to abandon you. That partnership between frail humanity and eternal divinity leaves them awestruck. And now, pause with me. You are hearing these words not by accident. This is a divine interruption in your day, a reminder that heaven celebrates your faithfulness. Don't brush this off as ordinary. The fact that you are still here, still listening, still standing, is evidence that you are chosen. Angels marvel at your endurance, but heaven smiles at your obedience. I want to share something from the depths of my heart. If this word is stirring something inside you, if you feel seen, affirmed, and strengthened, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it so another weary warrior can rise. Someone else is walking through their silent battle right now, and your act of sharing could be the spark that saves them. If you haven't already, subscribe and stay connected. Not because numbers matter, but because reminders like this will keep anchoring you when storms try to shake you. This space is more than content. It is a sanctuary of truth, a stream of living words to refresh your spirit. By subscribing, you choose to remain in the flow of divine encouragement, ensuring that heaven's whispers reach you at the appointed time. And yes, like this message, not for me, but for the testimony it carries. When you click that like button, you are amplifying the voice of heaven's truth into the noise of the digital world. It is your way of saying, this word is alive, and it matters. End. Chosen one. Your courage has already shocked the angels, but your willingness to carry this flame further will light the way for countless others. You are not standing alone. You are part of a divine ripple that keeps expanding. Heaven saw your choice. Angels were astonished. And now the earth needs to hear it too. Stand tall. Keep rising. Let your courage remain the wonder of heaven. Chosen one. There was a time when the world rejected you, when you felt like the stone cast aside, too rough, too flawed to be wanted. People walked past you as if you carried no value. They didn't see the weight of destiny hidden inside of you. They saw weakness where heaven saw strength. They saw insignificance where God saw eternal purpose. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, verse 3, he was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hide their faces, he was despised, and we held him in low esteem. Beloved, this scripture speaks first of your Savior, but it also reflects your journey. You have known rejection. You have felt invisible. You have carried pain that made others turn away because they couldn't understand. Yet, even in reaction, God was building something that could not be destroyed. Just as the cornerstone was rejected by men, but chosen by God, so too have you been overlooked by people only to be selected by heaven. The angels watched this process with amazement. They saw how rejection that should have broken you instead refined you. They watched you cry out in hidden places and yet rise again, carrying more fire each time. The angels whispered among themselves, How can one so wounded still carry such glory? What they realized is that rejection became the very soil where your roots of resilience grew deep. Chosen one. You were never meant to fit into every circle or be accepted by every crowd. That loneliness you felt was heaven's way of setting you apart. If you had been fully embraced by the world, you might have lost sight of your divine uniqueness. The angels saw it clearly. What others discarded, God reserved. What people overlooked, heaven crowned. Do not despise the seasons where you felt cast aside. Those seasons stripped away false approval and shallow validation so that you could hear the only voice that matters, the voice of your Creator. The angels rejoice because they see now how the rejection has birthed unshakable clarity in you. You know who you are. Not because people celebrated you, but because God Himself named you, chosen. And here is the truth you must hold on to. Rejection is not the end of your story. It is the confirmation of your calling. The rejected stone became the cornerstone. You, too, are being placed in a position of divine strength, a foundation for others to stand upon. The angels marvel because what was once scorned is now being revealed as essential. Chosen one. Pause for a moment and let this truth sink deep. You were rejected not because you lacked worth, but because your worth was too radiant to be understood by those around you. The angels have seen the transformation. Out of the ashes of rejection has risen a vessel of glory. Now, as a prophetic act of agreement with this truth, I invite you to comment this number below. 444. Why 444? Because it represents alignment, stability, and the firm foundation God is building in you. By typing it, you are declaring, I will not be shaken by rejection. I am aligned with heaven's design. This small act is a statement that the stone once rejected has become the chosen one. Beloved, rejection may have been your story once, but it is not your destiny. The angels watched in awe, and heaven smiled, because the very thing that tried to break you has only revealed how unbreakable you truly are. Chosen one. You must understand the roar that rises whenever you declare yes to your destiny. The enemy does not sit quietly when you align with heaven. He unleashes storms, distractions, and whispers of fear, all designed to weaken your resolve. Yet each time you resist, your decision sends tremors through the kingdom of darkness. What you thought was a private whisper of obedience thundered like a battle cry in the unseen realm. The angels have seen it clearly. They witnessed the enemy laying traps, weaving lies, and surrounding you with discouragement. Yet when you opened your mouth and chose faith, your voice carried a sound that split the darkness. It was not loud by human standards, but in the spirit, it roared like a lion. Demons that thought they had claimed you scattered in terror. Angels looked on, astonished that a mortal could carry such a roar. Chosen one. This roar is not your own. It is the echo of the Lion of Judah within you. When you choose obedience, his roar resonates through your spirit. That is why the enemy cannot stand against you. Hell is not afraid of your strength, but it trembles at the sound of his authority flowing through your choice. Every yes you give to God releases that authority like thunder across the battlefield. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7, For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. This is why your roar carries weight. It is not fear. It is power, not confusion. It is clarity, not hate. It is love. The angels marvel because they know how weak human flesh can be. Yet in you, they see divine courage burning brighter than the flames of opposition. You may not even realize the extent of what happens when you resist darkness. To you, it might feel like a weary decision, choosing not to give in, not to compromise, not to let bitterness take over. But in the unseen realm, every one of those choices becomes a strike against the enemy's camp. It dismantles weapons that were forged against you. It tears down strongholds that have stood for generations. The angels gasp in amazement, because one human yes carries the weight to collapse demonic strategies that have been centuries in the making. Chosen one. Your roar is not always loud. Sometimes it is silent endurance. Sometimes it is whispered prayers. Sometimes it is tears offered as worship. But every form of it shakes the atmosphere. The angels have seen that when you rise from the ground after being knocked down, your very breath declares war against the kingdom of darkness. Do not underestimate what you carry. The roar inside you is not meant to impress the world, but to terrify hell. When you lift your eyes instead of bowing your head, when you cling to hope instead of despair, that sound echoes into eternity. Heaven recognizes it as the sound of victory, and angels rush to strengthen you. Chosen one, remember this. The enemy's fury against you is not proof of your weakness, but of your impact. He does not roar against those who pose no threat. He roars against you because you are dangerous to his kingdom. The angels know it. That is why they watch in awe each time you resist. And so, you stand not as a victim, but as a warrior. Your yes is your weapon. Your endurance is your roar. Your faith is your shield. The angels marvel because they see the ripple of your decisions shaping eternity. Every time you resist darkness, the roar grows stronger. Chosen one. Your roar of resistance will not fade. It is marked in the heavens, feared in hell, and celebrated by the angels who stand in wonder at what God has chosen to do through you. Chosen one. There is a reason your life has passed through fires that seemed unbearable. The refining process has never been about destroying you, but about revealing what could not be broken. You have walked through seasons where everything was stripped away, comforts, relationships, even pieces of your identity. To others it looked like loss, but in heaven's eyes, it was purification. The angels watched with solemn awe as the flames rose higher. They expected you to collapse under the weight of the heat, because human hearts are fragile, and suffering often breaks them, yet you endured. You walked forward even while burning. What astonished the angels was not that you were in the fire, but that in the fire you kept your faith alive. The prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 19, "The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread on the heights." The angels saw this truth manifested in you. In the fire, you found strength not your own. In the stripping, you discovered footing that allowed you to stand where others would have fallen. Chosen one. The refining fire revealed what was always inside you. Impurities burned away. False identities melted. What remained was something the angels could hardly fathom, pure gold. They marveled at how trials sharpened you instead of destroying you. How pain became your teacher, and how wounds became channels of wisdom. In those moments when you cried out, "Why me?" the angels leaned closer. They knew heaven was shaping a vessel that could carry glory. They saw how each flame removed something that was never meant to define you. They whispered among themselves, "This one carries weight. This one is being prepared for heights beyond imagination." No, the fire was not random. It was never meant to humiliate you, but to transform you. What people saw as collapse, heaven knew as construction. The angels recorded every moment as testimony that the chosen are never consumed, they are refined. And what comes out of the fire is not ashes, but brilliance. Chosen one. This is why you carry a light that unsettles darkness. You shine not because life has been easy, but because the flames you survived ignited a fire within you that cannot be quenched. The angels marvel because you became brighter in the very places you thought you would be extinguished. Understand this truth. Pain is not wasted in the life of the chosen. The angels saw that your tears watered seeds of strength. They saw that your heartbreak carved space for compassion. They saw that your scars became maps of resilience. The fire did not destroy you, it defined you. Now, when the angels look upon you, they do not see someone who barely survived. They see someone who carries the fragrance of eternity. They see a soul that walked through fire and came out shining. A living testimony that nothing forged against the chosen can prevail. Chosen one. Let this truth settle in your spirit. The refining was never punishment. It was preparation. Heaven knows it. The angels marvel at it. And you, though you may not feel it yet, are already walking in the strength that fire has built within you. Chosen one. Heaven values not only the battles fought in public, but also the choices you make when no one sees. The hidden covenant you have walked, in the decisions made in silence, the obedience offered in secret. These are the treasures that angels marvel at most. For what is done without applause, without recognition, shines brightest in eternity. There were times you could have chosen the easier path. You could have compromised your values, blended into the crowd, or taken shortcuts that no one would have noticed. But you didn't. You chose obedience when only God was watching. You whispered prayers that no one else would ever hear. You stood in integrity when no eyes were on you. Those hidden choices thundered in heaven, echoing louder than the shouts of kings. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest, if we do not give up." The angels have seen you live this truth. They have witnessed your quiet faithfulness, your hidden sacrifices, your silent endurance. And they whisper in amazement, "This one keeps going even when unseen." M2, chosen one. The hidden covenant is where your true strength lies. Anyone can be faithful when celebrated, but you remained steadfast when forgotten. This is why heaven marks you as extraordinary. The angels marvel because every unseen yes is proof of your authenticity. You are not serving for applause, you are serving for love. That kind of devotion terrifies darkness and delights heaven. The enemy thought your silence was weakness. He thought that if no one saw you, you would eventually stop. But you didn't. Even in obscurity, you remained faithful. And that faithfulness became a weapon sharper than any sword. It dismantled lies, broke chains, and declared that you are not bound by the approval of man. Chosen one. Never underestimate the power of hidden obedience. The angels know that what is built in silence will one day resound across eternity. Your secret prayers have shifted atmospheres. Your quiet sacrifices have rewritten stories. Your whispered yes has silenced storms. Heaven records them all. For nothing is wasted when it is given to God. And now, pause. This moment is not ordinary. You are being reminded that heaven treasures what you thought was invisible. Every hidden covenant has already been seen, already honored, already celebrated in realms you cannot yet see. The angels are astonished not only at what you do publicly, but even more at what you choose privately. Beloved, I want you to take a step of agreement right now. Write in the comments these words, "I will not quit." Just 4 words. But they are a declaration. When you type them, you are not just filling a screen, you are sealing your covenant again before heaven. You are saying, "I will remain faithful even in silence. I will not abandon my calling. I will keep going." Let those words echo like a roar in eternity, reminding both heaven and hell of where you stand. The hidden covenant is your crown. The angels will continue to marvel each time you choose obedience in silence. And one day, what was hidden will be revealed in glory. Until then, chosen one, know this: heaven sees, heaven honors, and heaven will reward. Chosen one. There are moments when the heavens themselves resound with witness. What you thought was a simple act of faith has been inscribed in eternity's book. Angels do not merely watch you, they record you. Every act of obedience, every moment of courage, every whisper of surrender, it is written, never to be erased. This is why your story is weightier than you realize. You may see your life as a string of ordinary days, but in the heavenly record, it is a chronicle of resilience and faith. The angels saw you fall. Yes, but they also saw you rise. They saw your struggles. But more importantly, they saw your victories. They noted each decision where you chose the narrow way, and they marveled at how your faith thundered against the silence of the world. It was proclaimed in the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 12. And I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and books were opened. Another book was opened, the book of life. The angels are the scribes of this eternal record, and your name is marked within it, not as one forgotten, but as one chosen one. Heaven's archives are not filled with your failures. They are saturated with your faith. They do not highlight the times you stumbled, but the times you rose. The angels are astonished because, with each decision for God, you added another line to your eternal testimony. Even the smallest act, a prayer whispered, a hand lifted in worship, a word spoken in kindness was written down. What shakes the angels most is the eternal weight of these moments. What you thought insignificant carries immeasurable impact. You may not have noticed, but your stand for truth shifted atmospheres. Your whispered prayer protected someone you didn't even know. Your simple obedience moved mountains in unseen realms. And the angels, tasked with recording these moments, marveled at how one human life could carry such eternal consequence. Chosen one, I need to speak to you plainly. This is not just about you, it is about legacy. What is written of you will not only testify of your faith, but will ripple through generations. Angels have already recorded victories that will become the inheritance of those who come after you. Heaven's book is not just about what you did, it is about what your choices will unlock for countless others. And now, Allow me to be transparent. If this word resonates with you, if you feel the weight of eternity pressing upon your spirit, do not let it pass in silence. Share it. When you share, you extend the witness. You allow another life to be touched, another soul to rise, another testimony to be written. Your action multiplies the record in heaven. If you have not yet subscribed, do so now, not as a routine, but as a commitment to stay connected to the stream of reminders heaven is sending your way. This space exists to echo the voice of God into your everyday life. And by subscribing, you ensure those echoes continue to reach you. And yes, like this message, not for vanity, but for visibility. Each like pushes this word further into the noise of the digital world, cutting through the distractions so that someone desperate for hope can encounter it. Your like becomes a torch that carries light to places you may never walk physically. Chosen one. The thunder of witness continues. Angels write, heaven records, and eternity remembers. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. Your story is inscribed in fire, and heaven marvels every time your life declares, chosen, faithful, unshaken, chosen one. Strength is not always measured by what you lift, but by what you carry in silence. Heaven has seen the weight upon your shoulders, and the angels marvel at how you continue to walk forward even when it feels unbearable. You think of yourself as weak, but in the unseen realm, you are regarded as a pillar, one who carries a load heavier than crowns. The angels whisper to each other, how can one so human bear so much? They have watched kings and rulers crumble under less. They have seen nations fall apart under burdens smaller than yours. Yet you, though trembling, though weary, still take another step. That step, more than any outward victory, is what astonishes them. The prophet Elijah once stood weary under a broom tree, praying for his life to end. Yet heaven sustained him, sending food and strength for the journey. Likewise, you too have known exhaustion, moments where you whispered, I can't do this anymore. Yet heaven always provided enough strength for the next step, and the angels, watching closely, realized, this one will not quit. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17, for our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. What looks unbearable now will be revealed as seed for eternal reward. The angels know this truth and marvel because they see what your suffering is producing. Chosen one, the strength you carry is not just for yourself. You are holding things that others could not. Generational battles, family burdens, silent wars, these have rested on you. Heaven trusted you with them because you would not collapse. Angels gasp in reverence because they understand what has been placed upon your life. They see the ripple effect of your endurance, how your willingness to keep walking is breaking chains for many who do not even know your name. Do not despise the heaviness, for it is proof of the weight of glory upon you. The angels watch as every step you take becomes a declaration that the load is not too much when carried with God. They are not shocked by your humanity, they are astonished by the divine strength shining through it. When others see you, they might only notice the tired eyes, the weary frame, the scars that tell of battles. But the angels see deeper. They see a warrior clothed in resilience, a chosen one who has not bowed to the crushing weight. They whisper, This one carries glory. 1. Beloved. You must also understand that this strength is not without purpose. You are being forged for impact. The heaviness you carry is building endurance that will enable you to stand in places others could not. Heaven knows that when the moment comes to release what you carry, it will not be wasted. Every drop of sweat, every tear, every step under the load will become testimony of glory. Revealed. Chosen one. Never call yourself weak. The angels who watch you disagree. They marvel at the mystery of your endurance. They record each step, each sigh, each whispered prayer, and they testify before the throne, this one bears weight heavier than crowns, yet still stands. And you may not yet see the full picture, but heaven already celebrates your strength. What you carry now is evidence of the eternal strength being perfected within you. Chosen one. Never underestimate the power of one decision. Heaven has seen how a single choice from your heart created ripples that stretched far beyond your own life. You may have thought it was small, choosing prayer instead of silence, forgiveness instead of bitterness, obedience instead of rebellion. But the angels witnessed how that moment shifted entire destinies. The angels marvel because they see the broader picture. They know what would have happened if you had bowed to despair. If you had let darkness dictate your path, generations would have remained bound. Doors would have stayed closed, and blessings would have been delayed. Yet when you chose differently, heaven realigned history. Your yes pulled down blessings, not just for yourself, but for those connected to you. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, in their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. The angels know that while you wrestled with doubt and uncertainty, the moment you surrendered, God Himself stepped in to direct your way. That surrender was more powerful than any strategy or plan. It brought you into alignment with heaven's blueprint. Chosen one. Consider this. Every destiny is a river, and your choices are stones dropped into its flow. A single stone shifts the current, redirecting its path. In the same way, your decision has shifted the direction not just of your life, but of those who will come after you. The angels marvel because they see the generational currents bending toward freedom because of one choice. It was not easy. You wrestled with the weight of it. You questioned if it even mattered. Yet when you chose the narrow way, heaven erupted in celebration. The angels saw chains fall off your bloodline. They saw curses break. They saw doors swing open for those who had not even been born yet. Beloved, understand this clearly. The turning of tides begins with the obedience of the chosen. You did not just choose for yourself, you chose for many. The angels are astonished because your yes carried more authority than you realized. There are those who will never know the battles you fought in secret. They will never see the nights of tears or the silent wars of your heart. Yet they will walk in freedom because of you. They will inherit blessings that were unlocked when you decided to align with heaven. And the angels, who saw every detail, continue to marvel. This one has changed history. You may not feel it yet. You may still be walking through shadows, wondering if your choices matter. But heaven has already recorded it. The shift has already begun. The tide has already turned. Your obedience is echoing into futures you cannot yet imagine. Chosen one. Let this sink deep. Your decision is not forgotten. It is alive in the heavens, shaping stories that will outlast you. The angels know this truth, and they are astonished at the authority carried in your surrender. And now, as a sign of agreement, I invite you to declare this alignment in the comments. Write the number 555. Why 555? Because it represents divine change, transformation, and the turning of tides. By typing it, you are proclaiming, "My choice has shifted everything. I stand in agreement with heaven's transformation." Chosen one. The turning tide has already begun. Heaven knows it. Angels witness it. Generations will live it. All because you said, yes. Chosen one. Scars are often misunderstood. The world sees them as reminders of weakness, but heaven sees them as banners of victory. Every scar on your soul, every wound that has healed over time, tells a story not of defeat, but of survival. The angels marvel at these marks, because they are evidence that the enemy failed. You carry scars in places no one else sees. The betrayals that cut deep, the disappointments that lingered, the heartbreaks that left you gasping for breath, these did not vanish, but they healed, and in their healing, they became testimonies. What once was a source of shame now glows with glory. The angels whisper, "This one has endured the battle," and the scars are proof. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 34, verse 19, "The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all." Your scars tell this truth better than words ever could. For each mark on your life is not an ending, but a declaration. Delivered, preserved, still standing. The angels watched every strike of the enemy. They saw the weapons formed against you, and they saw how those weapons failed. What astonishes them is not just that you survived, but that your survival has been transformed into strength. Each scar has become like a medal pinned upon you by heaven, testifying that you endured where others would have fallen. Chosen one. Understand this. Scars are not weakness. They are maps of resilience. They tell you where you have been, but they also declare who you have become. The angels marvel because your scars radiate a beauty unseen by the world. They shine not with pain, but with the light of one who has walked through the valley and emerged clothed in victory. Do you remember those moments when you asked, "Why me?" The angels remember too. They leaned close as you wrestled with questions that seemed to have no answers. Yet even in those questions, you clung to faith. And when the healing came, the scars became evidence not only of your battle, but also of God's faithfulness. Now, when the angels see you, they do not just see a wounded warrior, they see a living testimony. Your scars speak louder than sermons. They proclaim that even when darkness struck its hardest, it could not destroy you. They declare that you belong to the one who heals, restores, and redeems. Chosen one. Your scars also carry power for others. They are not just your testimony, they are torches. When others see them, they find courage to rise. Your scars tell them, "If I endured, so can you. If I survived, so will you." The angels are astonished at how what once broke you now builds others. This is why scars must never be hidden in shame. They are sacred, not shameful. They remind you that you were chosen not because life would be easy, but because you would endure. And now that you bear them, they shine as living proof that heaven's hand was always upon you. Beloved, never despise your scars. They are proof that you fought, that you endured, and that you overcame. They are the evidence that the story did not end in defeat. The angels saw it all, and they marvel still. What the enemy thought would destroy you has only crowned you with resilience. Chosen one, wear your scars with honor. Let them speak of battles fought and victories won. Let them remind you daily, you are chosen. You are delivered. You are unstoppable. Chosen one. When heaven sets its seal upon you, no force on earth or in hell can deny it. There comes a moment when the refining fire, the hidden covenant, and the scars of your journey converge. And in that convergence, the mantle descends. The angels have seen this moment unfold before their eyes, and they marvel at the authority now resting upon you. The mantle is not merely a garment, it is a covering, a transfer of heavenly authority, a visible sign in the unseen realm that you are marked to walk in a power beyond yourself. The angels understand mantles well. They have seen prophets, kings, and warriors of old clothed in such coverings, but when they saw it descend upon you, they were astonished. They whispered, "This one, once broken, now carries authority. None can dispute." End of T. The prophet Elijah knew this mystery. When his time came to ascend, he left his mantle for Elisha, and with it came double the authority and power. Chosen one, you too have received a mantle, not crafted by human hands, but placed upon you by heaven itself. It carries the weight of your trials, the testimony of your endurance, and the authority of your calling. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 1, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the broken-hearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners." This is not just ancient prophecy, it is your present reality. The angels see the Spirit upon you, and they marvel because they know what it means. You are now anointed to carry light into places of darkness. Chosen one. The mantle does not erase your scars. It crowns them. It does not replace your battles. It validates them. The authority you now walk in has been forged through fire and proven in silence. The angels marvel because they see the weight of glory resting on one who was once overlooked, one who was once rejected, one who thought they had nothing to give. Understand this: a mantle is not ornamental, it is functional. It equips you to step into assignments far larger than yourself. Heaven would not clothe you in authority unless there were realms for you to influence, people for you to lift, chains for you to break. The angels rejoice because they see the ripple effect of this mantle, how it will touch lives far beyond your imagination. Perhaps you still doubt. Perhaps you wonder, why me? How could heaven trust me with such weight? The angels wondered too, but not because they question heaven's choice. They wondered because they saw how far you've come. They witnessed the nights you nearly gave up, the days you walked in silence, the moments you were tempted to let go, and yet, here you are, standing. That is why the mantle rests upon you. It is the seal of heaven's confidence. Chosen one. The authority you now carry is not for your pride, but for His glory. The angels see the covering upon you and know that from this moment forward, darkness cannot treat you as it once did. Your mantle is proof that you belong to the King, that you walk in His power, that you carry His word. Never forget, mantles are not given lightly. They are entrusted, and heaven has entrusted you. The angels marvel still, for they know the weight of what rests upon you. And they rejoice, because they see how it will unfold. Chosen one, when heaven clothes you with authority, the enemy's collapse becomes inevitable. Every plan formed against you, every snare carefully designed to entangle you, begins to unravel in the presence of your obedience. The angels have watched this unfold, and what astonishes them most is not that the enemy fights hard, it is that you stand firm until his weapons shatter. The enemy tried countless times to strike you down. He attacked your mind, whispered lies to your soul, and used rejection and betrayal to break your spirit. Yet each time, you rose again. Each time, you answered with faith instead of fear. The angels marveled because they saw strategies carefully crafted in darkness dissolve in moments when you chose the light. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of servants." The angels see this word alive in you. They know the attacks have been real, but they also know every single one has failed. Chosen one. The collapse of the enemy is not quiet, it is thunderous. In the unseen realm, every time you resisted temptation, it sounded like walls crumbling. Every time you prayed when you felt too weak, it shook the foundations of the enemy's camp. The angels marvel because your persistence has become a wrecking ball against the kingdom of darkness. You must know this. You terrify the enemy. Your presence alone disrupts his strategies. He cannot understand why. After so many attempts to silence you, you remain steadfast. The angels know the secret. It is the power of the one who lives within you. That power flows through your yes, through your worship, through your faith. And as long as you carry it, the enemy cannot stand. Chosen one. Your endurance has not only broken chains for yourself, it has shaken chains off others connected to you. The angels see the ripple of freedom spreading outward, and they whisper in awe, "This one carries deliverance." The collapse of the enemy is not just personal, it is generational. What once oppressed your bloodline is now trembling before your faith. And now, let me pause and speak to your heart. If these words are piercing your spirit, if you feel the truth of heaven rising within you, do not let it stay silent. Like this message, so it spreads beyond you. Each like is a flame that carries light into someone else's darkness. Share it, because another soul needs to know that the enemy's collapse is not only possible, but already happening. If you have not yet subscribed, do so now. This is not about numbers. It is about remaining connected to a stream of reminders that strengthen you. Each time you receive these words, it is as though heaven leans close to whisper again, "Do not give up. You are chosen." Stay in that flow and comment below, because your voice matters. Write your declaration of victory. Type it as a banner over your life, as a testimony to others scrolling by. The enemy has fallen. Those words are not just text, they are proclamation. They remind you, they silence darkness, and they encourage others to rise. Chosen one. Heaven has seen it. Angels marvel at it, and hell trembles because of it. The enemy's collapse is the sound that follows your obedience. Stand tall, for you are not only surviving, you are victorious. Chosen one. There are moments in eternity when the heavens erupt not with silence, but with song. The angels, who had once leaned forward in astonishment at your endurance, now burst forth in rejoicing. They sing not because of perfection, but because of redemption. They celebrate not because your path has been smooth, but because you never let go of the one who walks beside you. Imagine this scene: countless angels standing like a great ocean of light, voices rising in harmony, their song echoing across galaxies. And why do they sing? Because of you. Because your faith has become a testimony of God's glory. Because your scars now shine brighter than your wounds. Because your choices, sometimes trembling, sometimes silent, sometimes costly, have honored the King they adore. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 103, verse 20. Praise the Lord, you, his angels, you mighty ones who do his bidding, who obey his word. These mighty ones, who obey every command of the Lord, also break forth in praise when they witness his glory revealed in you. Your story is a canvas upon which God paints his faithfulness, and the angels cannot remain silent before such beauty. Chosen one. Their song is not like the music of earth. It carries weight, authority, fire. It is a proclamation, an announcement across realms that darkness has lost and light has prevailed. Each note of their song is filled with awe that one so fragile, so human, could reflect such divine strength. They marvel that you, once crushed under rejection and fire, now stand as a living testimony of triumph. The angels' song is also prophetic. They sing not only of what has been, but of what will be. They see what lies ahead: the crowns, the assignments, the victories yet to come. Their voices weave together glimpses of the future, declaring the goodness of God over your journey. To them, your destiny is not a question mark, it is a certainty sealed by heaven. Chosen one, do you realize how rare this is? Angels have seen mighty kings fall, prophets stumble, nations betray their calling. Yet when they look at you, they see someone who refuses to quit. That refusal, that resilience, becomes a melody in their song. Their voices carry your testimony into eternity. This one did not give up. This one remained faithful. This one has glorified the King. End quote. You may still feel weak, still wrestle with doubts, still wonder if you are enough. But heaven does not echo your doubts. Heaven echoes your victories. The angels are not singing of your failures, they are singing of your faith. They are lifting praise because of the God who carried you, the Savior who redeemed you, the Spirit who sustained you. Beloved, every time you chose light over darkness, a verse of their song was written. Every time you whispered yes when it cost you everything, another chorus was added. And now, their voices swell because your life has become a hymn of glory. You are not just a spectator in heaven's music, you are the reason for its rising. Chosen one, let this truth fill you with awe. The angels are not shocked anymore. They are singing. Their astonishment has turned into celebration. They are praising the one who chose you, and they are rejoicing over the story you have lived. Their song is proof that your life, with all its pain and scars, has become an offering that glorifies the King of Kings. So walk forward with this assurance. You are not walking in silence. Heaven sings over you. Angels rejoice because of you. and their song will never fade, for it is written into eternity. Chosen one. Eternity has a way of sealing what time cannot comprehend. You stand now, not as one defined by wounds, rejections, or battles, but as one unshaken. Heaven looks upon you. Earth cannot ignore you. And even hell recognizes that you are marked forever. The angels who once leaned in awe, who once gasped at your choices, now behold you as a wonder, a living sign of God's faithfulness. The story of your life is not the story of someone who never stumbled, but of one who refused to remain fallen. Every valley you crossed, every fire you endured, every silence you carried, these have all converged into a single truth. You are chosen forever. The angels marvel not only at your endurance, but at the permanence of your identity. No trial can revoke it. No enemy can erase it. No failure can undo it. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you out of all the peoples on the face of the earth to be his people, his treasured possession. The angels rejoice because they see this word alive in you. You are not forgotten, not overlooked, not replaceable. You are treasured, chosen one. This truth is not momentary. It is eternal. Your chosenness does not expire with seasons of success or seasons of struggle. It is written in eternity's ink, sealed by the blood of the Lamb, witnessed by the angels who have walked beside you from the beginning. They know that what God has declared cannot be undone. Think of how far you have come. Once rejected, now established. Once trembling, now standing. Once scarred, now radiant. The angels are astonished because your transformation is undeniable. They remember the nights you nearly surrendered, the prayers you thought went unheard, the battles that nearly consumed you, and yet you are here. Your presence alone is a declaration that you are chosen, and nothing can change that. Chosen one. Your life is now assigned to the earth. People may not always understand you. They may question why you are different, why your journey has been so marked by battles and breakthroughs. But your life is an answer in itself. You are a living testimony that God raises the rejected, strengthens the weary, and crowns the broken with glory. The angels marvel because they see you standing not only as one who has endured, but as one who carries authority. You are not merely a survivor. You are a signpost of God's kingdom. Your scars, once hidden, now shine as proof that God heals. Your tears, once unnoticed, now water the seeds of courage for others. Your victories, once private, now echo across generations. Chosen one. Let this truth settle deep. You are heaven's wonder. You are the evidence that grace is stronger than failure, that light is stronger than darkness, that endurance is stronger than despair. The angels look at you and see not fragility but fire, not weakness but glory, not insignificance but eternal purpose. And earth, too, will see. For your life will continue to radiate as a sign, a reminder that God still chooses, still redeems, still crowns. Wherever you walk, heaven's mark goes with you. The angels do not merely marvel, they stand in agreement, declaring before the throne that you are chosen forever. Beloved, nothing in your future can undo this. The mantle has descended. The scars have spoken. The covenant has been sealed. You are chosen forever. Unshakable. Unstoppable. The angels are witnesses, and heaven itself has decreed it. Chosen one. We have walked together through every stage of your journey, from the tears in silence, to the roar of resistance, to the mantle of authority resting upon you. And now, at the end of this message, I must tell you once more, you are not ordinary. You are chosen. You are sealed. You are eternal proof that heaven's hand never lets go. The angels, who once marveled at your choices, now sing over your life. Heaven has recorded every act of faith, and earth will witness the fruit of it. Darkness has tried, but it has failed. You stand unbroken, crowned with resilience, marked forever as God's treasured possession. That truth will never change. But hear me, beloved, don't let this word remain in silence. If your spirit has stirred, if you felt heaven's confirmation in your heart, then let your voice echo back, like this message, not for vanity, but so it reaches those who need it most. Share it, because someone else is waiting for the reminder you just received that they too are chosen, that they too can rise. And comment below. Write what is in your heart, a word of faith, a declaration of victory, even a single Amen. Your comment is not just text on a screen, it is testimony. It is your way of saying, I agree with heaven. I choose to stand. Let others scrolling by see your courage and be lifted. If you have not subscribed yet, now is the moment. Stay connected to this stream of truth. Every word that follows will be a reminder, or lifeline, a spark to keep your spirit strong. Subscription is not routine, it is alignment. A choice to remain in the flow of encouragement heaven sends your way. Chosen one, walk forward in strength. You are chosen. You are unshaken. And your story will continue to glorify the King of Kings.